Nobody argues with someone who thinks like this asterisk. The power of an unshakable mind. Some people walk into a room and instantly shift the energy. Not because they're loud, not because they dominate, but because they think in a way that makes arguments unnecessary. When you develop this mindset, people won't try to challenge you. They will listen, respect you, and often agree with you without resistance. Today, we're exploring the thinking style that makes someone unarguable, not because they force others into silence, but because their presence, reasoning, and calm certainty make conflict pointless. They don't react. They respond. The first thing you notice about people nobody argues with is their calm reaction. They don't get triggered. They don't let emotions hijack their judgment. When confronted, they listen. They breathe. They speak after thinking, not before. And this silence, this pause, is powerful. It sends a message that they are not controlled by anything external. You can't defeat someone who refuses to be pulled into emotional chaos. Silence and composure become their armor. They seek understanding, not victory. These people don't enter conversations to win. Instead, they enter to understand. And this disarms everyone. When they speak, their words don't attack, they clarify. They don't say, "You're wrong." They say, "Help me understand your perspective." Suddenly, the ego disappears. The other person feels respected. Arguments turn into discussions. This is persuasion through humility, not force. They don't need to prove anything. People argue when they feel insecure. But someone who thinks with quiet confidence doesn't chase validation. They don't care about being right in front of others. They care about truth, reason, and peace. They don't waste time correcting every misconception or reacting to every critic. They choose their battles because they don't need approval. They already trust themselves. And that alone intimidates arrogance. They speak with logic, not emotion. Their words are calm, measured, and grounded. They don't exaggerate, accuse, or manipulate. They separate facts from feelings. When someone talks purely from emotion, they lose clarity. But when you combine emotion with logic, your voice becomes powerful. You don't scream. You don't insult. You simply state reality. And reality is unbeatable. They don't fear disagreement, while most people panic when someone disagrees. These individuals welcome it. They aren't threatened by different opinions. They see disagreement as thinking, not disrespect. So they reply confidently, without defensiveness. That confidence makes the other person question their own aggressive approach. When you aren't scared of being challenged, others stop challenging you. They are comfortable with silence. Silence is something most people fear. They rush to fill it. But someone with strength uses silence like a weapon. They pause before they answer. They let people finish fully. They don't interrupt, and they don't panic in the gaps. Silence forces the other person to think. And thinking is where the heat of conflict cools and truth rises. They ask sharp questions instead of arguing loudly. They ask precise questions that reveal truth. What makes you believe that? Is that a fact or an assumption? What would change your mind? This turns debates into self-reflection. People stop fighting because they realize they don't actually have a solid argument. A well-placed question is more powerful than 1,000 aggressive statements. They stay grounded in values. These individuals operate from principles, not moods. They value respect, truth, self-control, and dignity. They don't compromise character to win a moment. When someone tries to provoke them, their values keep them steady. People can't destabilize a mind built on foundation. Become the person nobody fights. With the mindset that prevents arguments isn't arrogance. It's mastery. Mastery of emotions. Mastery of ego. Mastery of communication. When you stop needing to be right, you start becoming powerful. When you stop reacting, you start leading. People don't argue with someone who stands firmly, listens deeply, speaks calmly, and carries quiet certainty. Adopt this thinking, and your presence alone will command respect. You won't need to win battles. because they won't even begin.